In the dead of night, when the world sleeps, shadows come alive with whispers of the unknown. These are the stories that linger in the dark, tales of fear, mystery, and the unexplainable.
Hey guys, this is Spectronautics. I wanted to start out this channel with one of my personal stories that I have. So this happened a couple years ago. Me and my friend wanted to go camping and we figured that it'd be a really fun idea, I guess. I used to listen to a lot of missing 411 cases and they brought up the Allegheny National Forest, so it seemed pretty cool to me. Me and my family took a trip up there a couple years ago and found an old logging trail. We wanted to explore more of it, but it went on for too long. So I talked to my buddy and I told him the history of the place and told him it was gonna be spooky, and honestly, we weren't expecting anything. Maybe some black bear. So for the sake of anonymity, I'll be calling my friend James. So it was me, him, and my trusty 2011 Mitsubishi Lancer down a mucky mud pit-filled logging road. So we go about 7 miles in. So when we stepped out of the car, there was a blaring silence. There was no cars, planes, river streams, any sort of ambience. It was me, him, and the woods, and the silence was so deafening. It was nothing like I've ever heard before. I heard my blood pumping, my muscles moving, I could hear everything. After we sat there and took in all of the silence for a while, we started making up camp in a little roundabout on the side of the logging trail with my beater parked backwards. So if need be, we could leave quickly because I'm paranoid. We started gathering logs for a fire. I brought my chainsaw and also all my survival gear, which wasn't needed. I also brought my AR-15 just in case. I don't know if we're running into any mama bears out there. Once we started to make our presence known there for a while, the cicadas and grasshoppers and normal forest sounds started to come back like it didn't leave in the first place. After we got a fire going, we saw a truck go past us. It was a forestry department Chevy and it had a quad on the back of it, and after that, after about 45 minutes, we saw the park ranger flying around on a quad for about 2 to 3 hours. I don't know, he was kind of just whipping it around like it was fun or something. Not sure what it was about, but we didn't pay any mind. He didn't mind us. We are cutting up dead logs anyways, so he didn't have a problem with us. But after that, we hung out for a while talking. Also, did I mention on paranoid, so I put up a bottle noisemaker perimeter trap around our surrounding area so that if anything snuck up on us in the night, we'd know if any animals were trying to get into our food. To note, we also heard a tree fall later about 7 o'clock. We didn't pay it no mind. Fast forward to about 10 o'clock at night, we started to make dinner. Each got 2 T-bone steaks and he brought St. Germain liquor. It was only 8%, so we wasn't getting all crazy. It went down really smooth with the steak. After that, then the silence came back. All we could hear is the crackle of the fire and the wind in the leaves. And then we were silent for a while. I said to James, hey, I think it's time to go to sleep. He agreed, and we both started making our sleeping bags cozy. I passed out around 11:15 or so. I woke up around 2 a.m. and it was silent like before, and then all of a sudden, I heard what sounded like pebbles hitting the tent, and I know they were small enough because they were hitting the aluminum rods holding the tent up. I put it out of my mind and went back to sleep. That didn't work. After 15 or 20 minutes of tiny pebbles hitting our tent, I heard the most deep guttural owl sound that I've ever heard in my life. It sounded like a 1,700-pound owl, and that went on for 2 hours. And the thing was that it was never consistent. It was always too low-pitched for an owl. I told James, if that keeps going on, I'm gonna unload a magazine into the surrounding woods. I wouldn't actually do that, but that's just what I said to vent my anger about this owl. After a while, I yelled, "Knock it off," to said owl. And after that, I heard my bottle trap going off and bipedal running. It didn't sound like a 4-legged animal, and it was way too fast for a bear to be on 2 legs, so I zipped down the tent real quick, R in hand with a flashlight mounted on the end. The forest was so thick. I couldn't see anything 5 or 10 feet past the alcove that we were in. At this point I was getting a little freaked out and I was contemplating leaving in the night, but I woke him up and we decided both to just stay for the night. After that, everything remained quiet for the night, like the deadening silence. I didn't sleep. He didn't sleep. We both sat there in silence until sunup. We didn't say a word to each other. I went to go clean up the bottle trap, and I found that the bottles were missing and the fishing line that I used was 65-pound braid wasn't cut. It was tore apart. We packed up everything and started on our way out, and we noticed 2 perpendicular trees laid across the road out. We noticed that they were uprooted 15 feet away from where they laid. They were 50-foot long and 16-inch width trees. There's no way nothing could pick that up or uproot it without a machine. The dirt was still moist. Then we headed out of that messed up forest. We've been friends for about 12 years now and we still never talk about it. I tried to bring it up once or twice and he just said drop it, so something happened. We don't know really what. The thing that always bugs me is that woods don't just go silent. Anyways, that's one of my spooky scary stories that actually happened. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thank you for listening to my story.